Halloween isn't just a holiday in my household, it's a full-blown lifestyle. Calgary is known for some of its amazing communities and its real estate. But what if I told you that some of those same amazing neighborhoods came with a spooky side? And in this video, I'm going to count down the top 10 most terrifying stories, ghost stories, and haunted attractions in all of Calgary. Some are real places, and some are legends that you might not want to run into after dark. Will you be able to tell the difference? So make sure you stick around, because I'm going to share with you one of my favorite local legends, or is it? The Dark Man of Bowness. And I will share with you why Halloween is just my favorite holiday. What better place than to get our list started in Calgary's oldest neighborhood, haunted, historic Inglewood. Known for its trendy shops and heritage homes, it's also known as one of Calgary's most haunted neighborhoods. If you take the famous ghost walk through Inglewood, you'll learn about a few of the infamous landmarks. The Deane house, where things happen all the time, and they're recorded by many patrons and the staff. And we also feature the Deane house later, so make sure you stick around to the end of this video. And the Hound pub, where it's haunted by, can you guess? Probably not. A monkey. Yes, you heard me correctly. It is haunted by a monkey. The story that I heard about the monkey is the Hound. It's an old firehouse, and the chief had a pet monkey, and it passed away. The firehouse is now a pub, but staff and patrons often see things moving, plates being thrown, glasses being moved, and apparently it's the mischievous monkey that is left behind by the chief. Inglewood is gorgeous by day, but by night, let's just say not all the residents living here are actually living. If you have ever been to Heritage Park during the day, then you know it's a place with rides, fun shops, and old-timely charm. But after dark, it turns into one of the spookiest places in all of Calgary, which is why Heritage Park is number 9 on our list. Their famous ghost tours, which run through the whole month of October, take you through some of the haunted houses, the haunted streets, tell you about all of the haunted stories of the ghosts that live and occupy Heritage Park. And during your tours, they will tell you of the stories where staff have reported seeing and hearing unnerving sounds, things that will move on their own, and doors that slam shut. Apparitions have been seen in some of the houses. And don't forget that one of the most haunted houses in Calgary is at Heritage Park, the Prince House. If you're taking a day to go there, whether it's during the day or you're brave enough to go on one of their ghost tours at night, make sure you have a stop at the Prince House. You may just hear something that you don't want to. Now, if your idea of Halloween fun is a little bit more of the manufactured side, think Stampede, you're at the haunted attraction where you get into the car and it zips you into the house and you've got jump scares, but you're safe and sound inside that little cart knowing that nobody can come and get you. Well, you're gonna love the next 2 attractions that have made our list. Because rounding up at number 8 is the ever popular Fright House in Morley and ScreamFest, the annual haunted house attraction that's been hitting Calgary for the past 20 years. Now let's start with ScreamFest. ScreamFest has been scaring Calgarians for over 20 years. And here's a fun fact. 20 years ago, I was at the first ever ScreamFest opening night. I'm not gonna tell you how old I am now, but that was 20 years ago. And ScreamFest is so much fun. There is jump scares all over the place, and it has evolved from one haunted house to now I think they have 7. There's a maze, and it's just so much fun. Definitely for that teen demographic, but us adults who still like to have a scare or two every now and again, it's definitely a fun night out. Highly recommend it. There's also a couple other haunted attractions around the city every October. You have Cobb's Adventure Park. That is a lot of fun, and it's family friendly. They have scares for little kids all the way up to adults. There is also Haunted Calgary, which has taken over a few weekends in October and reimagined Heritage Park into a spooky night out. There is Boo at the Zoo. There's Ghouls Night Out at Heritage Park. There is also Dr. Giggles out in Chestermere. And what I love about Dr. Giggles, you have to buy a ticket in advance, and it's a time ticket. Because unlike ScreamFest, this one does sell out. And you have to get your tickets early or you will miss out on that scare. And then it brings me to Fright House in Morley. Now, I discovered this 2 years ago, and myself and my girlfriend, we went. It's located in Morley, obviously. It is put on by a gentleman of the name of Dexter, where he has opened up his house, the Amos House, and it is in the middle of a clearing. You get GPS coordinates and you head out. Friends, I tell you, if you decide to go out and check out Fright House Morley, take more than one friend. Don't be like I did. Make sure you have a flashlight, make sure you have good shoes, and I promise you, this is the scariest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. It was so scary. My girlfriend and I, we couldn't finish it. We actually had to ask for it to be over and to be let out of the house. Mind you, it was 11 o'clock on a Saturday night in the middle of Morley. It was foggy. It was so scary. There's a basement to this house that you're supposed to go in. I have no idea what's in the basement. So if you do go and you make it into the basement, drop it in the chat on what is in the basement, because I have no idea. I just know I had to get out of that house. It was so scary. So if you're in for scares, put that one on your bucket list. And next up on our list, and this one is equally as scary as Morley, just a different experience, is Aspen Crossing's Train of Terror. Aspen Crossing is located an hour east of Calgary, and it is well worth the drive. This is an 18+ attraction, and I will tell you why. You must sign a waiver. The waiver says that you will allow for the actors in this train to chase you, grab you, pick you up, remove you from your group. It is 2.5 hours of intense scare. They do have bar service before and during the train, and of course after. There is a little pub at Aspen Crossing. So make sure, if you are going, be safe, plan a ride. You can always hire a party bus and head out there, have some drinks on the way, and you'll probably need it for sure when you're done. My girlfriends and I have my group of girls where we go out every October and we hit all of the haunted houses. Yes, I am that crazy person. But we discovered Aspen Crossing 5 years ago, and this will be our 5th year of doing the train. Every year it gets scarier and scarier. We are chased all over the place. It is unbelievable fun. But if you are not one for being grabbed or touched or pulled or picked up and removed from your group, and so you have to do it by yourself, maybe this one isn't for you. But they do give you a safe word, so I promise it will be fine. Definitely, if you're in for manufactured scares, or if you just love Halloween as much as I do and you love being scared, you must go and check out Aspen Crossing's Train of Terror. I promise you will not be disappointed. And we get ourselves to number 6 on our list. Now, did you know that Calgary's old City Hall, which is the building that's right next to the new big and brand new City Hall building, used to be Calgary's old city jail? Now, staff have reported seeing ghostly figures wandering the halls, and they've even reported seeing a woman appear at night. And don't get me started about the cells downstairs. Or let's just say the inmates haven't made bail. If walls could talk, City Hall would definitely whisper, and it wouldn't be of the friendly kind. We are at the halfway point on our list, and coming up on number 5 is one of Calgary's creepiest legends. Or is it? Now, I stumbled upon this story when I was reading a book called Ghost Stories of Alberta by author Barbara Smith. And At the beginning of it, there's a foreword. And what caught my eye, she speaks out and she says, for anybody who is a Bowness resident or has lived in Bowness, this is for you, and can you validate the story? And so she went through talking about the Dark Man, how a resident of Bowness but couldn't substantiate claims, so she didn't put it in her book. And in the book, she describes the Dark Man as somebody who doesn't have a face, is wearing a balaclava hat, and is wearing a trench coat. Well, when I was reading this, I stopped dead in my tracks because my husband, for years, has been telling us this story when he was 10 or 11 in the hills just beside Greenwood Village Trailer Park. He was dirt biking, fell off his bike, he was by himself, and through the clearing walked this man, and it was when he finally got close enough to the man, he had no face, trench coat, and a balaclava hat. He's been telling that story for years. This is where it gets even weirder. My girlfriend, when we were in our 20s, she was living in Greenwood Village in a trailer. Her and her friend, they rented one, and this is where she was staying. She lived while we were in university. She would always call me and say that there's this guy that would show up on her, they have this patio at the front of their trailer late at night, and she would see the silhouette of this man, trench coat, balaclava hat, but she could never make out the face. So when I was reading this book from Barbara Smith, like, oh my God, this is who they both described. Now, are they both telling a legend? Or is this really true? Has anybody else seen the Dark Man of Bowness, or does anybody know of this story? Because Barbara Smith has never written about it, because again, she can't substantiate the claims, but is it true? Is the Dark Man real? Or is he just a legend? Beyond neighborhoods, some of Calgary's landmarks are just as haunted. And that brings us to number 4 on our list. Let's start with Fort Calgary, one of the oldest sites in all of Calgary. Originally built in 1875 by the Northwest Mounted Police, it has seen its share of rough justice. Staff and visitors claim to hear phantom footsteps, doors closing when no one is around, and even voices calling their names. Some link this activity back to when that fort housed prisoners. And then over at the Knox United Church in the Beltline in downtown Calgary, caretakers report hearing eerie organ music playing in the middle of the night. And it's not just churches. Even some of Calgary's fire halls claim to hear eerie noises in the middle of the night, with firefighters hearing unexplained bangs and hoarse noises. Imagine buying a heritage building only to find out you have a couple long-term tenants that just won't pay rent. Not all hauntings are tied to buildings. Sometimes entire streets can carry a sordid reputation. And this brings us to number 3 on our list, haunted neighborhood walks. And one of the more chilling stories comes to us from the bridge near the Calgary Zoo coming over into Inglewood. People have sworn to hear cries of children on quiet nights, but when they rush to look, no one is there. And here's a fun one. Some of the Halloween ghost tours will lead you down streets to have you knock on certain doors of certain houses, only to hear the owners come out to give you their own experience of what is either happening in their house or on their street. This could only happen in Calgary, right? And number 2 on our list brings us back to Inglewood, right back to the Deane house. This is by far one of Calgary's most haunted houses. And it's also one of Calgary's best restaurants. Yes, you heard me correctly. The Deane House is a historical home, and it's been converted into one of the top restaurants in all of Calgary. People who have come here for dinner or just to come for events, and the staff, they have all reported hearing phantom footsteps. They see lights flicker when they shouldn't be. They have even claimed to see furniture move all on its own. So I have had the pleasure of being inside the Deane house. I've come here for dinner quite a number of times, and I can tell you it is creepy. All of the floors are wooden, so when you walk, you get that clack, clack, clack. And the bathrooms, they're located upstairs. I don't know about you, but I definitely got goosebumps. So when I had to go, I took a friend. So is this a house that you would gladly move into, or put that for sale sign up faster than you can say boo? And now rounding out at number 1 is our grand finale of the elusive Midnight Walk. This is where Calgary's spooky side truly comes alive. Imagine strolling past the old heritage homes in Inglewood with their creaky front porches, or down an empty back alley in the Beltline where old brick warehouses stand silent. And if you're not brave enough to do that midnight walk on your own, you can definitely join one of Calgary's famed walking tours that takes you through all of Inglewood and through the Beltline, where you can hear stories like this one that comes from a late night security guard working near Stephen Avenue, where he swears he saw a man in an old-fashioned suit and a bowler hat step out of a store onto the walk and then vanish right into thin air. And then there's another tale of an apparition of a woman on 17th Avenue who has been seen wearing a white dress, but just as soon as people approach her, she disappears. Calgary is full of beautiful communities, and as a real estate professional, we love showcasing them. But Halloween reminds us that every city has a hidden lair. The stories that give you goosebumps, and the legends that are passed down by neighbors, and the mysteries you only hear when the sun goes down. The real question is, are these just stories, or do the real spirits of Calgary still walk among us? And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us on our Halloween special, Living in YYC. Halloween is my favorite holiday, so I couldn't resist dedicating one full video to all things Halloween and sharing the haunted side of Calgary. Did I miss your favorite spooky spot? Do you know of another local legend that I didn't mention today or that didn't make our top 10? If so, please let me know in the chat. I would love to hear from you. And if you have any haunted stories of haunted houses or anywhere else in the city or just around, share it. Everybody loves a good campfire story. And look, if you are thinking about making a move to Calgary, and if you want to know more about our city, maybe some more haunted stories, make sure you reach out. Me and my team, we are here and we would love to hear from you. And if you are planning on making a move in 9 days or 90, make sure you subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to get all of the latest market information on all things real estate in Calgary. And until next time, my friends, stay safe and stay spooky.